Welcome back to the Too Clever Mafia podcast. I am your host, Too Clever Mafia, and as usual, we have AJ over in the sound booth. Hello, AJ. And we are back. We are back for you. And, well, 2021, folks, huh? We're already mid-February. We hope everyone enjoyed. We had a lot of questions about our how to make a podcast. If anybody was interested, check it out. Last 3 or 4 episodes that we did. But we are back. We are back live here at the Too Clever Mafia podcast. And so I'm going to get right into this. And I've kind of hit a survey overload point. Enough already. I opened up my email the other day and I had 3 survey requests. And these were from businesses that I frequent. And it was just kind of a general request. Hey, how is our service? One of them, I'll tell you, was from Amazon. They keep hitting up. They want these product reviews, and now they're offering you money. You get a gift card for $3 if you do a product review, and which does entice me, I might add, to do, because I tend to purchase a lot of stuff off of Amazon. So I'll run through the product review and give them my 2 cents, if you will. But when you do those surveys, if you were to go back and you search whatever your screen name is that you use for Amazon, that stuff is all public knowledge. So be careful about that, because when you do a survey online, especially I know for Amazon from experience, all that stuff is there. So if down the road you, let's say you get a 3M product and you're down the road and you're looking to get a job at 3M, and hopefully your screen name is not something that can be easily attributed back to your person, your personal life. But that stuff is public. So for everyone, not even for Amazon, just for Amazon users. So yeah, I was amazed. I over the years, I must have done 100 reviews, but I never knew they were all public. So we went back in and Mrs. Mafia and we took care of them all, because some of the things, we got some bad products, and whether it was Amazon's fault or whether it was the product or the company that I was dealing with was no good, I was a little harsh. So I kind of went back and I tweaked them a little bit, because I didn't realize there was that much public information available. And then, the goal when you do a review, or you get a survey of that stuff is what's your goal? My goal was just to say, hey, this, beware when you buy this product. Hopefully someone else that was interested in that product would, find it useful. But I went back and realized a few years ago, I was very harsh on some of those products, but, I ended up, taking some down. But I was getting to, my point was, we're getting the surveys, right? And I read an article the other day that people in the U.S. don't even respond, or the percentage was so low. I think it was like lower than 3% actually respond to any type of survey or polling. And the people that do are usually extreme one way or the other. There's very few people that will give you feedback that is useful, I guess, is what you're looking for, because you're looking for those that, you just need a little bit more to be better type of answers. And people that have that type of feedback don't generally go and fill out these surveys. So, and then, so it got me thinking, and then I went and I did a search, and it turns out that there's actually a bunch of stories out there, and, that using statistics, why can't I speak today? Statistics and polling. And then you start thinking, well, if this poll says this, but only extreme positive people that already were, enjoyed what, or agreed with the poll, I will say, and then people that disagree with the poll answered, what about that middle group that's not even answering any of these polls, right? They're not going in, and so it got me thinking, how legit are surveys and polls? We look at them and you see it on the news, you see the news referencing them all the time, but really, who are they polling? Who are they, are they polling people that are going to automatically say yes or be in favor? And then if you look, there's over 300 and 20 million people in the United States. Probably 200 million of those folks can vote. And if you survey 1,000 people or 10,000 people, is that really a good majority? Is that really a good, they call it sample size, I think? I don't think so. I mean, do you think so? I don't think so. And it's, I don't know. It's just one of those things. It got me to thinking, and they've gotten, and the length of these polls. I had to take one for, I'm not going to say who right now because I don't know. Should I? No, I don't. Okay. So anyway, there was this, we'll say, entertainment company, right? I'll leave it at that. They do movies and stuff. But anyway, I took the survey, and everybody's heard of that Survey Monkey. Everybody's done Survey Monkey stuff. And the questions, it was like 45 questions. And I'm going through it and again and again and again. And I'm like, what the? I'm like, they weren't even paying me for this. Amazon will pay you $3 for a review from time to time if there's nobody else has reviewed it. And they're like, please, let's get some reviews here so we can sell more of this product. But it was so many questions. I'm like, page after page after page. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. It's like, am I rating the company or the product? And, you were going through the company, the product. And then was I rating the employee? Was I rating myself? Was it, I didn't even know what I was rating. And then you look at them and you're like, well, they ask you, I had to sum it. I don't want to give too much information because I don't want to, I don't want to slam any particular company. Not that I'm, overall I'm happy with this particular company, but maybe at the end I'll tell you, but I'm not good at keeping secrets. The whole idea, it started out, asking how was it was based on a telephone call, right, to their customer service. And the whole idea was, it started off, well, how did the employee treat you? And then, but during this call, I was the first employee I was a little annoyed with. Then I got to like a manager or a supervisor, so they said. And then they had to transfer me to somebody that could actually take care of my order issue that I had. It wasn't Amazon. It wasn't Amazon. Somebody else. So, but the first person, if I was rating that individual, they needed a lot of help. Second person, they were okay, but the fact that they had to transfer me to a third person was kind of like, well, this is really becoming a lot more of my time being spent on the phone than I would have liked. And then I got transferred to a third person that was actually able to help me with my issue. And I guess the big question is, well, why wasn't I dealing with the third person to begin with, right? And this has happened to all of us. I'm sure it's happened to you. And I guess it's because companies, they use this feedback. They want to save money ultimately, right? I mean, that's what they're using the feedback from all of us. And my question is, how many companies are trying to save money versus how many of these companies are just trying to monitor their employees versus actually trying to make the customer experience better? And I do want to give a shout out. This was another issue I've had recently, to Apple computers. Now, I know some folks don't like them. I have really nothing bad to say, but I want to give a shout out to Apple because, say what you want, for the most part, they know how to get it done with customer service. I had a phone of mine replaced recently, and the process started online and then ultimately ended up on the actual customer service line. And then by mail, I received a replacement. And when I got the new one, I sent the old one back. The whole process was flawless. I was so impressed. Probably overall, it was my best customer service experience. Now, I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of hate mail and emails about how their experiences with Apple wasn't so good. But my personal experience, I had, I'll go into it real quick. I had a speaker problem. One of my speakers on my iPhone wasn't working. It was what was it? iPhone, I think it was iPhone 11. And I have the protection, right? But that really wasn't even it was under a year warranty. So I called them up. They ran me through something. They took my word for it. that what the problem was, because nowadays people are pretty techy, but then you get those, sometimes you got to call up for tech support. And then when you get up to tech support, it ends up being a situation where the, they want you to run through all this troubleshooting and stuff. And it's like, I already did that. Don't waste my time. I know it's broken. And I guess some people don't, but they kind of got the hint real quick that I knew what I did was doing. And they, no problem, Mr. Mafia. They sent me out a new one. I sent the old one back. They did need my credit card to hold it to make sure I sent the old one, which is understandable. Those phones are what, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, whatever, which I had no problem with doing. And I got a new one, and it seemed like it was a brand new one almost. And they honored their product, they honored their warranty, and some people say, well, if there was a known issue, they replace it without a problem and whatnot. But either way, the whole customer experience was very it was simple. And in my mind, I don't think a process could have been, especially now. I mean, I couldn't go into the store and get a new one. It would just be too much trouble, too much trying to stay socially distant and stay healthy and all of that. So it really was a good experience. And, you know, I get a lot of email about, don't get stuck in the Apple ecosystem. Once you're stuck in this ecosystem of Apple, you get their MacBooks, you get their phones, your earbuds, all that. But if it works, who cares? If it works and does what you want to do, what matters? I mean, Apple ain't going anywhere, right? So it is what it is. It does the job. They do the job as a company, which I'm very happy with. And A+ from Apple, from top marks from the Too Clever Mafia podcast here, Apple. Thank you very much. So that's pretty much that's my little side note about Apple. But I'm going to get back to the surveys, and we've all done it. You've I'm sure have taken polling, and you feel they're kind of useless. Sometimes you get really good customer service, or sometimes I've been asked by customer service people, like we all have, to, hey, I get rated on this, and even in stores, sometimes you get on the bottom of the receipt, hey, we get rated on this. Can you make sure you give us a 5 or nothing? Because if I get a 4, I'm going to lose my job. Or a 9 out of 10. If you don't get a perfect 10, you might as well not even give me a survey. And where's that stuff going? Well, I mean, it's all data, right? And it's all being crunched, but I think a lot of that is not necessarily being used properly. I think a lot of customers and companies of those customers of those companies provide a lot of valuable feedback, and myself included. And I say, hey, if there's 5 people waiting online and the wait was too long, and I gave you that feedback, and there's been stores where I'll go in and I'll get 3-4 times and give the same feedback. Why haven't they opened up another register since then? Or are they just using it on one side of it? They're just using it to blame those employees for being slow, and they're going to get rid of them, as opposed to solving the customer need. Because I think that's what gets missed on these surveys. I really do. I've gotten called back from district and area managers, right, for surveys, and why are you calling me back? This is the problem. Fix it. That's all I want. I'm letting you know what the problem was. You can fix it. And if it was something I needed, you would have heard from me. But ultimately, that's what we want, right? We just want it to be fixed. We don't want to have to deal with the nonsense. It's not my company. I have my money. I want to spend it with your company. This is what I expect. If you want me as a customer, or continue using me as using my funds to pay your bills, you better work on fixing the problem. So I guess I'm ranting a little bit here, ain't I? But the back to customer services, and I believe in a way these surveys that people do, they hurt customer service because they take up a lot of the customer's time, and especially on phone calls. Like if you call an 800 number or the cable company, you call and they say, hey, hang on after this call. We've got a survey if you want to take it. I usually always hit 1, and I don't know you hit a button or something, and then I hang up. I don't know if they're supposed to call you back. I never get them. But I don't know. I think it just takes up a lot of our time, and we're not getting anything back. That's why I kind of like Amazon. They give you that $3 credit to buy something nice with it. And I guess they're trying to get your information, right? They're trying to get information from you to use for something, and I guess that's technically, um, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to find out if the employees are offering the right products. I mean, that's technically upselling. That's not really customer service, right? They're upselling. As an employee, did you offer the warranty to this person? And well, no, but they didn't need it, right? I don't want things forced upon me, and that I don't need. I don't want you to offer me a credit card if I already have 15 million of them. If I need a credit card, I'll let you know. I'm not going to forget that I need a credit card if I call a bank, or vice versa. If I if I'm shopping, I don't know, if I'm shopping for hats online, I don't want you to offer me your Visa card. I don't need that. So I believe that sometimes that cross selling, they call it too, that can kind of hurt customers. That's what they call it. I think cross selling. People aren't robots. We all have different needs. Some are similar. Obviously, if you have a product and we're calling your company, then we're involved in some of your product. But we're not all square pegs that you can all put into a square hole. Everybody's different. And I didn't ask for it, and you didn't uncover a need, then just leave it out of the conversation. I don't think the employee should be disciplined for that. I don't think the customer should be bombarded with that information if they don't need it. And don't get me started on those, like I said, those callback surveys. Stay on the phone. Like, no, I didn't want to call you to begin with. I didn't want to call customer service in the begin with. I actually believe it. I've got to make a phone call tomorrow. We're recording this on a day where, a weekend where businesses that I have to deal with is not open today. And I'm dreading it. I don't want to call in. I have to, now it's 2021. I've got to call. I should have been able to handle it online. Now I got to put time to call between 9 and 5 so I get a real employee. And, so why should I have to take a survey? But I do have some inside scoop, though. I've gotten some information, some emails, verifiable employees from particular companies. But, some employees of certain companies, I'm not going to get into them because I don't want to get these employees in trouble. But, are they're told they've got a script and they've got to check every box on everybody, every customer, no matter what, right? And regardless of whether you call for that issue, or the employees in some cases can, they risk disciplinary action, or they risk getting promoted to a customer. For for one, I feel, if I'm going to be involved in that employee's future or involved in decision making of a particular customer, then I should be compensated for that. I should be compensated for my opinion. Make me an employee. That's all. I mean, that's all it is. But anyway, if Apple can be as good as they are, I got a survey from them, and it was a simple one-question survey. That was it. Was I satisfied with the transactions? And I said yes. There was no more follow-up. They knew they did everything right along the way. If I had said no, maybe they would have asked me more questions. I don't know. Best survey ever I took. It's easiest, most, I didn't mind it. Going into it, I was a little concerned that it wouldn't be something as simple, but now I know. And I'm welcome to give them my feedback because I feel like what they do is great and they use that feedback to make things better, which is, you can't say that for a lot of companies. Lots of companies want to automate their services. I mean, how many you get those robots and then you call the 800 number and says, how may I help you? Press 1 for this, 2 for that, right? And the best, Miss Mafia and I, we always crack up because lots of times, it's 20 minutes, you call someplace and you're waiting on the phone forever. And they'll get the clicking of the keyboard like there's a robot on the other end typing to try to understand it. And then you say operator, and it says, yeah, okay, we understand you want an operator, but give us more information. So I don't want to spend 25 minutes on the phone with you, a virtual recorded robot, whatever you want to call it. Why would I want to do that? Again, I don't want to call to begin with. But especially you ever call your bank and it's like, it's all saving money. They want to save money by automating the tasks but it's less, they can hire less humans that way. But, and then you got to jump through all those hoops because the robot machine can't figure out specifically what your problem is. Because again, most people, I feel, try to do things that they can do on their own, whether it's on the company's website or their app or whatnot, before they want to call any, because they know everybody knows what a rigmarole it is to get through these automated systems and sometimes just to even get through a live person. And then who do you get to somebody that seems to be an outsourced person that doesn't even know, they're reading off a script, which they're looking online in the same places that you looked online to try to find the answer. So it's pretty crazy. That whole circle that it keeps going around. But I don't think I've ever called one of those places and found an option where I could press the number and the number, other than taking me to a customer service rep, actually solved my problem. Because it was that simple. Again, wouldn't it have been solved on the app? We've all been there. You've been there. I've been there. This is just, I don't know. I guess it's just a result of the internal surveys that think that we are all dumb as rocks. We don't know how to Google an issue these days. I mean, it's 2021. I mean, the internet's been around for what, 25, 30 years? I think most people can, the regular consumer internet, we can try to figure out our issue using Google or, but it's just, and I know there's a cost when you call a company to that company, but hey, if your information is not available, if I can't find this information, I'm calling you. So compile all that data, why I'm calling you. Don't give me an automated button to push when I get to you. If everybody's calling you this is common sense, but if everybody's calling you, hey, I need to know what time you're open, post it on your darn website. Right? Doesn't that make sense? It makes sense to me. I don't know. Maybe we are just smarter than the average bears out there. I don't know. But for me, I will always let someone know when my service expectations have been met or have been gone above and beyond what when I call a customer service rep or whatever. But I also will let them know when it's worse than I expect. And sometimes we'll do that in surveys. Sometimes I'll just do that in face to face and call over a manager or whatnot, or in an email. I'll shoot out an email. More often than not, I will send a good feedback than negative feedback, because negative feedback kind of just drums up that negative energy, which who wants that negative energy, right? Nobody wants that. Nobody. So, oh well. Or in an email, if you are getting that solicited feedback, unsolicited feedback requests, I'll say, hey, listen, I don't need these emails. I don't need you after every time I purchase something, sending me emails to see how things were. You ever buy, this might be my last, I know we're going a little long here, but eBay, you ever buy something off of eBay and they sit there and they give you you get those form email. Nothing's worse than a form email. I mean, there's some people, and I know quite a few, and then they've tricked me a few times of late, but you get those form emails that come back and say, hey, if you enjoyed this, X, Y, if you really look at them and you realize, wait, this is just an automatic email. You want my manual response to it. I guess that's the way things are. It's kind of a marketing scheme. It's kind of like when you get a phone call too, which I'm not going to get into, but you get those automated phone calls from people requesting money or want you to sign up for something, wants to see if someone's on the other end, getting the solar panels. I've been getting a lot of those fake calls, and they come from all these crazy fake numbers all the time. But sound off if you agree with me. If there's something along these lines you don't agree with, I don't know how anybody would enjoy these, especially if you don't get paid for them. But head over our social medias or not. We're on all the majors. Too Clever Mafia. We're somewhere out there. You can find us. You can always email us at tooclevermafia@gmail.com. That's TOO clevermafia@gmail.com. And let us know. Let us know. We love to hear from everyone out there. You can check us out on our website, www.tooclevermafia.com. And I am your host, Too Clever Mafia. Everybody stay safe out there. This is the Too Clever Mafia podcast, and that is all I have to say about that. Bye-bye for now.